This is P. Srinivas Rao. Today we discuss about some topics related to motion in a straight line, mainly speed and velocity concept. The main topics in this session are given as first one, speed; second, types of speed; next, velocity; next, types of velocity; next, main points related to speed and velocity concept; and next one, uniform and non-uniform motion. So that is about this session. And first one, before going to this speed and velocity concept, first one we are taking a small situation related to this speed and velocity concept. That is, we conduct a running race between cheetah and elephant, and that running race length is assumed as 1 kilometer. So in this cheetah and elephant, which one wins? Obviously, say that cheetah wins. The reason is cheetah moves fastly, but elephant moves slowly. So to explain this fastness of cheetah or slowness of elephant, we are using two physical quantities, that are speed and velocity. In the case of speed, the direction is not considered, and in the case of velocity, direction is also needed. So in this manner, we are taking a speed and velocity concept. So first one, we concentrate on speed. After that, we concentrate on velocity. So first one, speed, can be defined as the rate of distance covered with time is called speed. Or one more definition, the magnitude of the velocity at any instant of time is known as speed at that instant of time. So that is about speed definition, and based on this speed definition, the formula of speed can be given as V is equal to ds by dt. This formula is applicable if distance is changed with time. We can use this V is equal to ds by dt. And one more formula, that is speed is equal to distance by time. This is applicable if the distance and time values are perfectly known. We can use speed is equal to distance by time. And in the explanation of speed, the direction is not considered. Therefore, speed is taken as a scalar quantity. And next one, its dimensional formula is taken as Lt power minus 1, because speed is equal to distance by time. In the place of distance, the dimensional formula for distance is taken as L, and time dimension is taken as T. So L by T, that is taken as Lt power minus 1. Our next one, its SI unit is taken as meter per second, and CGS unit is taken as centimeter per second. And moreover, for measuring speed, one more practical unit, and that practical unit is taken as kilometer per hour. And while doing the problems on speed or velocity, sometimes that speed or velocity are measured in kilometer per hour, and in that case we convert that kilometer per hour into meter per second. Therefore, compulsorily we know the relation between kilometer per hour and meter per second, that is 1 kmph is equal to 5 by 18 meter per second. And based on this speed, we can take one small question: is the speed positive or negative or 0. So compulsorily speed is taken as a positive because the distance is always positive. Therefore speed can never be negative. And now we can explain about the types of speeds. And first one, we deal with uniform speed. When a particle covers equal distances in equal intervals of time, however small the intervals may be, then it is said to be moving with uniform speed. That means mainly the speed of the body remains constant. Then we can say it as a uniform speed. And mathematically it can be written as speed in the first case as is equal to speed in the second case. That is ds by dt at one point is equal to ds by dt at another point. And one more point here, the body may change its direction of motion because in the explanation of speed the direction is not considered, so the direction may be changed. And next one, we discuss about one more type of speed, that is non-uniform or variable speed. It can be defined as if a particle covers unequal distances in equal intervals of time, or particle covers equal distances in unequal intervals of time, or both, then it is said to be moving with non-uniform or variable speed. That means along the path the speed is varying. So mathematically it can be written as a non-uniform speed. ds by dt at one point is not equal to ds by dt at another point. Examples, first one, motion of a freely falling body. So when a body is freely falling, due to the acceleration due to gravity, speed is continuously increased. So along this path, speed is changed. So that is taken as a non-uniform speed. And another one, motion of a body thrown vertically upwards. When a body is thrown vertically upwards, due to the acceleration due to gravity, speed is decreased continuously. So in this case also, speed is continuously changed. So it is the example for non-uniform speed. And another type of speed is taken as average speed. The average speed of a particle for a given interval of time is defined as the ratio of total distance traveled to the time taken. So based on this definition, the average speed formula can be given as average speed is equal to total distance traveled by time taken. Sometimes if the positions and times values are given, in that case to find out average speed we can follow this process. If x1 and x2 are the positions of an object at the intervals t1 and t2 respectively, then the average speed is taken as v average is equal to x2 minus x1 by t2 minus t1, that is equal to delta x by delta t. And next one, sometimes different distances and different time values are given. In that case, to find out average speed, this process we can use. If d1, d2, d3 and so on dn are the distances traveled by a particle in the time intervals t1, t2, t3 and so on tn respectively, then average speed formula is taken as v average is equal to d1 plus d2 plus d3 plus and so on dn divided by t1 plus t2 plus t3 plus and so on tn. So that is about finding of average speed. Sometimes if speeds and time values are given, in that case, to find out the average speed, this process we can follow when particle moves with different uniform speeds v1, v2, v3 and so on vn in different time intervals t1, t2, t3 and so on tn respectively. Its average speed is measured as V average is equal to D1 plus D2 plus D3 plus D4 and so on Dn divided by T1 plus T2 plus T3 and so on Tn. So in this case, distances are not given. So due to that reason, we know that the speed is equal to distance by time. Therefore, distance is equal to speed into time. So based on that formula, D1 is taken as V1 T1 and D2 is taken as V2 T2 and D3 is taken as V3 T3 and so on. Dn is taken as Vn Tn. By substituting them, you can get V average is equal to V1 T1 plus V2 T2 plus V3 T3 and so on Vn Tn divided by T1 plus T2 plus T3 and so on Tn. And if only we have two speeds and two times, then to find out average speed, this formula is changed as V average is equal to V1 T1 plus V2 T2 by T1 plus T2. And next one, if a body traveling between two positions travels first half of time with the speed v1 and next half of time with the speed v2, so that means in this case the times are not given, then the average speed of total motion is taken as v average is equal to v1 plus v2 by 2. And next one, sometimes if we know the distances and the speeds, then to find out average speed, the process is given like this. When a particle describes different distances d1, d2, d3 and so on dn with the speeds v1, v2, v3 and so on vn respectively, then average speed over the total time of journey, general formula is taken as V average is equal to d1 plus d2 plus d3 and so on dn divided by t1 plus t2 plus t3 and so on tn. And in this case, times values are not given. So by using the speed formula, speed is equal to distance by time. From that, time is taken as a distance by speed. So based on that, we can take T1 is equal to D1 by V1 and T2 is equal to D2 by V2 and T3 is equal to D3 by V3 and Tn is taken as Dn by Vn. By substituting them in the general formula, you can get V average is equal to D1 plus D2 plus D3 and so on Dn divided by D1 by V1 plus D2 by V2 plus D3 by V3 and so on Dn by Vn. And next one, a body is traveling between two positions. The total distance is divided into n equal parts. These parts are traveled with the speeds v1, v2, v3 and so on vn respectively. Then in the above formula, d1, d2, d3 and so on dn are taken as d. Then all the values of d are cancelled. Then you can get V average is equal to n by 1 by V1 plus 1 by V2 plus 1 by V3 and so on 1 by Vn. By cross multiplying this, you can get n by v average is equal to 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2 plus 1 by v3 and so on 1 by vn. And next one, a body is traveling between 2 points A and B. It travels from A to B with the speed v1 and from B to A in the same path with the speed v2. In that case, to find out average speed, here only we have two parts. Therefore, in the place of n we are taking a 2. So only two parts are taken. Then 2 by v average is equal to 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2. By simplifying this, you can get v average is equal to 2 v1 v2 by v1 plus v2. And next one more model. A body traveling between two positions travels first half of the distance with the speed v1 and the next half of the distance with the speed v2. Then the average speed is taken as again v average is equal to 2 v1 v2 by v1 plus v2 because distance, first of distance, second of distance is the same. So same type of equation we can get. Next one, if speed is continuously changing with the time, then the average speed can be taken as v average is equal to integral of v dt divided by integral of dt. So this is about average speed. And one more type of speed is taken as instantaneous speed. That is, it is the speed of a particle at a particular instant of time. And next one, when we say speed, it usually means instantaneous speed. And one more definition for instantaneous speed can be given as the instantaneous speed is average speed for infinitesimally small time interval. Then based on this second definition, the instantaneous speed formula can be taken as v is equal to limit delta t tends to 0 delta s by delta t is equal to ds by dt. And to find out the instantaneous speed, what are used? Mainly in the automobiles, we are using speedometers to find out instantaneous speed. And next one more type of speed, that is change in speed. The difference between final and initial speeds of a particle is called change in speed. The change in speed delta v can be written as, based on the definition, as delta v is equal to v2 minus v1. Here v1 and v2 are taken as initial and final speeds of the particle. So this is about speed and types of speed. Next one, we concentrate on velocity and types of velocity. So first we concentrate on velocity, the rate of change of position, that is the rate of displacement with time is known as velocity. So based on the definition, the formula can be written as velocity is equal to displacement by time. It is applicable if displacement and time values are perfectly known. And if displacement is varying with time, in that case, to find out the velocity, the formula can be written as v bar is equal to ds bar by dt. And next one, sometimes position vector is given, then in that case find out the velocity. So to find out that velocity when position vectors are given, we follow this process. In general, if the particle moves in space, position vector r bar will change, and the time rate of a change of position vector is known as velocity, then v bar can be written as a dr bar by dt, where the position vector general formula is taken as r bar is equal to xi cap plus yj cap plus zk cap. Therefore, v bar is equal to d by dt of xi cap plus yj cap plus zk cap. And by simplifying this, you can get v bar is equal to dx by dt I cap plus dy by dt j cap plus dz by dt k cap. Then we can get v bar is equal to vx I cap plus vy j cap plus vz k cap. In this case, vx is assumed as dx by dt, that is x component of velocity, and vy is taken as dy by dt, that is y component of velocity, and vz is taken as dz by dt, that is taken as z component of velocity. Then the magnitude of velocity or speed can be measured by the formula as v is equal to root of vx square plus vy square plus vz square. And this velocity is vector quantity, and its direction is in the direction of position vector or displacement direction. And its dimensional formula is also similar to speed dimensional formula, that is Lt power minus 1. And its SI unit is again meter per second, similar to speed, and CGS unit is centimeter per second. And is the velocity positive, 0 or negative? Velocity can be positive, 0 or negative, because displacement may be positive, 0 or negative. And in general, while doing the problems, we can take one sign convention, that is according to our sign convention, if the particle is going towards right, velocity will be taken as a positive, and if the particle is going towards left, velocity will be taken as a negative. So that is about velocity. Next we concentrate on the types of velocities. First one, we concentrate on uniform velocity. Uniform velocity definition can be given as a particle is said to be moving with uniform velocity if it covers equal displacements in equal intervals of time, however small these intervals may be. And one more definition is also taken, that is a particle is said to have uniform velocity if magnitude as well as the direction of its velocity remains the same. And this is possible only when the particle move in the same straight line without reversing direction. That means finally in the straight line motion the velocity remains constant. And next one, uniform velocity is that velocity in which the body continuously moves in the same direction with the constant speed. So you can take any type of definition. And next one, on this uniform velocity concept, based on the xt graphs, we can get different types of problems, mainly find out the uniform velocity. So first one, when a particle travels with uniform velocity and if t is equal to 0, x is equal to 0, then xt graph is given below. And from that graph, find out uniform velocity. So to find out uniform velocity, the process is the slope of the line gives the uniform velocity of the particle. So now the formula to find out uniform velocity is taken as uniform velocity is equal to tan theta if theta is known, and if positions and time values are known, the uniform velocity formula can be taken as uniform velocity equal to x2 minus x1 by t2 minus t1. And next one, when a particle travels with uniform velocity and if t is equal to 0, x0 is equal to b, then the xt graph is a straight line with a positive slope. That graph is given below. And here also, to find out the uniform velocity of particle, same formula which is learned in the previous graph we can use. And next one, if a body has a uniform velocity, the motion of the body is expressed by the equation as x is equal to vt plus b. That means it is just equal to straight line equation, that is y is equal to mx plus b. In the place of y we can take a position x, and in the place of slope we can get as velocity, and in the place of x we can get a time factor, and b is y-intercept. Next one, when a particle travels with negative uniform velocity, then xt graph is given below. And in this case, to find out the uniform velocity, we can use uniform velocity is equal to minus tan theta if theta is given. If positions and time values are given, then the uniform velocity is equal to x2 minus x1 by t2 minus t1. Next one, when a particle travels with the uniform velocity, then one more graph is taken, that is velocity time graph, and that velocity time graph is given below. And that is a straight line parallel to the x-axis or t-axis. In this case, generally they are asking find out the displacement. To find out the displacement, the process is the area of the figure bounded by the graph gives the displacement of the particle. And next one more type of velocity, that is a non-uniform or variable velocity. Its definition can be given as a particle is said to have non-uniform velocity if either of magnitude or direction of velocity changes or both of them change. And next type of velocity is taken as average velocity. It is defined as the ratio of displacement to time taken by the body. That is based on the definition, the average velocity formula is taken as displacement by time taken. That is taken as V average bar is equal to delta r bar by delta t. Sometimes if positions and time interval are given, then to find out average speed, average velocity, the process is if a particle displaces from initial position x1 to final position x2 in a time interval delta t, then the average velocity is taken as V average is equal to x2 minus x1 by delta t. And in this case also, if only displacements and time values are given, the formula which is learned in average speed, that formula as it is we can use. In the same way, different types of formula which are used in average speed that are applicable in this average velocity concept also. And next one, we have some important points related to average speed and average velocity. And first one, for a given interval of time, average velocity is a single value, while average speed can have many values depending on the path followed. What is the reason? Here in this case, average velocity means it is based on the initial and final positions. Due to that reason, we can have only one average velocity. If paths are changed in between the initial and the final positions, we can get many values for average speed. And next one, if after motion body comes back to its initial position, what is average velocity and what is average speed? So average velocity becomes 0 because the initial and the final points are same, that implies displacement equal to 0. But distance is not equal to 0. Due to that reason, the average speed is greater than 0. And next one, for a moving body, average speed can never be negative or 0, while average velocity can be positive, 0 or negative. What is the reason? In this case also, distance is always positive. Due to that reason, average speed always positive. Displacement may be positive, 0 or negative. Due to that reason, average velocity can be positive, 0 or negative. And next one, in this average speed and average velocity, which one is great? So the relation between distance and displacement, first of all we know. After that we can give the relation between average speed and average velocity magnitude. So we know that distance is greater than or equal to magnitude of displacement, which is learned in distance displacement concept. Based on that, average speed is greater than or equal to magnitude of average velocity. And next one is another type of velocity, that is instantaneous velocity. Instantaneous velocity is defined as the rate of change of position vector of particle with time at a certain instant of time, or it is defined as the limit of average velocity as the time interval becomes infinitesimally small. So based on this definition, the instantaneous velocity can be written as v bar is equal to limit delta t tends to 0, delta r bar by delta t is equal to dr bar by dt. Sometimes if velocity is changed with the time, in that case, to find out the displacement in the given time interval, we are using the formula S is equal to integral of t1 to t2 v dt. And next one, the slope displacement time graph at any instant of time gives the measure of instantaneous velocity of an object at that instant. And next one, instantaneous velocity is positive when the slope of displacement time graph at any instant is positive. If slope is negative, instantaneous velocity is negative. If slope is parallel to time axis, instantaneous velocity is 0. And next one, instantaneous velocity is always tangential to the path followed by the particle. And next one, a particle may have constant instantaneous speed but variable instantaneous velocity. Is it possible or not? So it is possible in the case of uniform circular motion, that a body or particle is traveling with a constant instantaneous speed, but always the direction is changed. So in that case it is possible. And next one, the magnitude of instantaneous velocity is equal to the instantaneous speed. And next one, if particle is moving with constant velocity, then its average velocity and instantaneous velocity are always equal. Next one is change in velocity. The vector subtraction of final and initial velocities of particle is known as change in velocity. Based on the definition, the change in velocity can be written as delta v bar is equal to v2 bar minus v1 bar. Here v1 bar and v2 bar are taken as initial and final velocities of a particle. So this is about types of velocity. And next one, in this types of velocity and types of speed, we can give the important points related to speed and velocity concept. And next one is uniform motion. An object is said to be in uniform motion, its velocity is uniform. That means an object covers equal displacements in equal intervals of time, however small these intervals may be. And based on this uniform motion, we can have some important points that are taken as characteristics of uniform motion. First one, in this motion, the magnitude of the displacement is equal to the actual distance covered by the object, because in this case the body is traveling along the straight line, so the magnitude of displacement is equal to distance. Our next one, the velocity in uniform motion is independent of time interval and choice of origin, because it is always constant. Therefore, it is not dependent on the time interval and choice of origin. And next one, in this case, is the force needed or not? So generally the force is not needed. So we can take it as no force is required for an object to be in a uniform motion. And next one, the average and instantaneous velocities have same value in uniform motion, because it is traveling along a straight line with a constant velocity. And next one, in a uniform motion, d by dt of magnitude of v bar is taken as 0. And in the similar way, magnitude of dv bar by dt is also taken as 0, because velocity vector is constant. And next one is non-uniform motion. An object is said to be in non-uniform motion if it undergoes equal displacements in unequal intervals of time, or if it undergoes unequal displacements in equal intervals of time, or both. That means mainly in that path velocity is changed. So based on that definition, we can give some characteristics for non-uniform motion. They are given as: first one, the velocity of the object is not constant. And next one is in non-uniform motion with variable velocity, its magnitude or its direction of motion are both change with time. Once again, the definition is repeated. And the position time graph cannot be a straight line. And in the non-uniform motion, we can write as d by dt of magnitude of v bar is equal to 0, but magnitude of dv bar by dt is not equal to 0, because velocity is changed with time. So this is about this session. And next we can explain about the problems on speed and velocity concept. Thank you for watching.